to be honest, I'm gonna be open-minded because I don't think that yeah, that's my trash bag. I'm just now realizing that's in the bag. But I never heard of any Mr. Beast allegations. To be honest, I never thought bro would have allegations. The man literally does like the most wholesome stuff on YouTube. So what type of allegations did he have?
Getting worse, and there doesn't seem to be an end. So we're just gonna go over everything that's gone down in the past 2 weeks since my last video, including some very serious new allegations regarding Feastables. So last time, everyone was concerned with the allegation that MrBeast hired a registered offender nicknamed Delaware as a contestant. The allegation that MrBeast hired a registered offender nicknamed Delaware as a contestant in his video, victim age 11, which is horrible. Since then, Jake the Viking confirmed
21 to 16 years old. Oh, she was. What? But he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times. Okay.
in a tweet that Delaware is indeed his brother-in-law and a registered offender and was part of the MrBeast video, and claims that Jimmy and his mom also knew about this and allowed it to happen. Now, if you
When was this? Because that bro, MrBeast looks so young around this time. I'm gonna stop pausing so much.
Thought that was the only criminal that Jimmy was associated with, Rosanna Pansino tweeted out, "I've received confirmation from 5 verified contestants that for the first round of Beast Games, a man named Armani was allowed to compete. He was previously charged with at least 20 counts for battery, kidnapping, pandering or pimping, and robbery. He pled guilty to the charge, acknowledging the significant evidence against him. He allegedly also slept near female contestants before being kicked off set for inappropriate behavior. Some of the female contestants confirmed being very uncomfortable around him. He's also friends with Jake Paul and other influencers. Why was there not adequate background checks to catch people like this?" And there's a picture of Armani. Yikes, I don't think they took time for background checks. Good lord, my god, MrBeast, what else are you hiding? Now, obviously, this is really concerning if it is true, because you can't have criminals of this degree participating in your challenges, especially allowing them to sleep near female contestants when they might be uncomfortable. That is obviously a recipe for disaster, and Jimmy needs to conduct better background checks to avoid situations like this. Now, Rosanna follows up by saying he has changed his appearance since being in jail. Contestants said they believe he was in the green team in the group challenge. Multiple people have told me he allegedly received a lot of camera time and was to be part of the story. Here we got the alleged change in appearance. I mean, at this point,
he looks the same. And to be honest, I don't watch MrBeast videos, to be real. Only when I'm reacting to him. But I've never seen bro before. To be real, no, you know what I'm saying? No writing, but like that.
Jimmy has to respond to this. That is allegedly 2 criminals that we now know of.
Golly, man. That's I did not think it was like this. Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's plenty of people who would take part in a MrBeast video gladly with great personalities. I don't know why they feel the need to scoop the bottom of the barrel with contestants and settle for actual criminals. That is just insane to me. Now, Rosanna also says in this tweet that they're basically messing with the outcomes of the Beast Games rounds. I've received confirmation from at least 10 Beast Games contestants. The production has been calling some people this week and telling them they are now kicked off the show and no longer allowed to compete. This appears to be a fairly large amount of people.
What show? He doesn't host shows. It isn't a show. What? What do you mean show? And for like the people who get like eliminated, they get eliminated. What? Let me shut up.
These are people who made it to the next round of Beast Games and were set to fly to the next shoot in
Oh, Beast Games. Okay, then wrong thing. I don't know what that is.
Canada. I'm waiting for additional confirmation, but it appears that production is allegedly also calling people who were eliminated in the first round and inviting them back onto the show. Production has so far refused to give a reason, but the most common theory I'm hearing is that it was because of psych evaluation given to contestants after the first round. In my opinion, they either did a psych evaluation of contestants too late, or they're playing favoritism with specific contestants. Either way, it is really concerning. Now, some people are saying this could be favoritism, or maybe they're just kicking out cheaters and giving back chances to people who got cheated out of a win. Honestly, personally, I feel like changing results after the fact is always lame, and it should be monitored in real time so people know exactly what happened and it's more fair. You guys can form your own opinion regarding that. Now, Rosanna also made a very concerning tweet. I've heard rumors from people working close with MrBeast that he's hiring PIs to investigate those speaking up against him. Thank you to the people who reached out to warn me and others. I now have confirmation from several people that individuals are indeed being offered money to fabricate stories about me and others. I have identified some of these people already. They began harassing my friends as of last weekend. I'm keeping all of the receipts. Okay, obviously, if that's true, that is really concerning. Fabricating stories about people is never okay. Personally, I'd like to believe MrBeast is not a part of this and somebody under him is taking a
Yeah, I don't believe, like, well, I don't want to believe that, because MrBeast seemed like a cool dude. He seemed like a very cool dude, very mellow, very chill. And for, if any of this is true, then that is very damning, like, information, bro.
upon themselves to do something sinister, but the fact that she's saying people are being offered money to fabricate stuff is incredibly concerning. Now, before you ask, none of my friends have been contacted yet, all right? And I'd like to keep it that way, all right? I have got lawyers, all right, just in case. We got the squad ready, but personally, I'm just reporting the news and stating my opinion, so not really.
And I'm just watching the news as a viewer. Just watching it. I love MrBeast. I love Feastables. I want no smoke.
Really making any accusations myself, so it should be good. But yeah, hypothetically, if it's true, stay away from my friends and family, bro. That's some supervillain shit. Anyways, moving on to Feastables. Big disclaimer, this next allegation is super serious, all right? I cannot confirm any of its legitimacy. I encourage
It's chocolate. How is that the most important?
everyone to do their own research and come to their own conclusions. That being said, YouTuber Honesty made yet another allegation against MrBeast, saying he's potentially using child labor or slave labor for his chocolate, which is incredibly concerning.
Everything in this video is alleged, and the conclusions are my own opinion. Like many other industries, chocolate is notorious for its exploitation of children using child labor and slave labor. They use child labor, forced labor, unsafe conditions to farm these cacao beans that eventually makes its way to become chocolates at your table. With that being said, I'm gonna...
But how do we know MrBeast is like letting that happen actually? Like what information?
try to prove my first point, that MrBeast is using child labor and slave labor for his chocolates today and has been since late 2023. When Feastables first launched in January of 2022, if you went into their FAQ, their frequently asked questions section, they proudly displayed that they were child labor free and slave labor free. As a matter of fact, in April of 2023, they doubled down and they added to their list of main menu options this option that said we're free, and if you clicked it, it had an entire dedicated page talking about how they were free of slave labor and child labor. But just a few months later, in October of 2023, that main page item that said we're free, that was removed. In addition, in the frequently asked questions section, that stuff about being child labor free and slave labor free, that stuff also disappeared. Later in May of 2024, and even to this day, there's no mention whatsoever at all about any kind of ethical sourcing of ingredients. If you're thinking, oh, it's a mistake, or maybe they forgot, I think the chances of this being true are less than 0.001%.
From my experience in the hospital.
Wow.
Beast prides himself on hiring the best of the best, and there is no way marketers would forget to put this kind of information on their website because it would boost their brand favorability in the eyes of consumers. It's likely then that MrBeast is now using child labor and forced labor for Feastables chocolates. This is especially bad because it means that MrBeast and the Feastables team were very aware that child labor and forced labor exists in the chocolate industry, and yet decided to take advantage of the most weak and the vulnerable among us for personal gain. This is a bad look for any company, but it's worse for MrBeast because he puts on these large public displays of being a philanthropist and a role model to young children.
Okay, if all that is true, that is absolutely sickening. I don't know how it keeps getting worse. I know there's a meme that there's no good billionaires and stuff, but I'm starting to understand what it actually takes to get uber rich. Somewhere down the line, it seems something sinister happens where you might potentially have to sacrifice morals for more money. And yeah, based on what he said, that is some extremely shady behavior. Removing labels like that is extremely concerning because then you're allowing people to speculate like this and they're gonna assume the worst intentions. Now, honestly,
I hope it isn't true. I hope not. That's what the fuck.
it goes on to say that in his opinion, MrBeast actually knew about this and planned it this way, which is another insane allegation.
I think MrBeast knew the entire time, since the beginning of Feastables, that he was going to use child labor and slave labor for his chocolates, but he tried to trick us into thinking otherwise. To try and prove my point, I'm going to first talk about the Feastables packaging, and then I'm going to talk about the kosher and halal certifications. When MrBeast first launched Feastables, it was in line with his brand. They were clearly trying to do things ethically. They actually got a certification from the Rainforest Alliance. Once you're certified, you're able to use their logo, which is a little frog, on all of your products, your website, on all of that stuff. When I saw the packaging for Feastables, both old and new, there was no Rainforest Alliance certified logo anywhere. If you one day that package has a frog logo on it and the next day it disappears, people will notice. So instead, they decide to only put it on their website because at the end of the day, who the hell reads a website except for weirdos like me? By doing it this way, I think they tried to fool everyone into thinking that their chocolate is still child labor free and slave labor free.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna speculate on MrBeast's intentions because I don't know what is going on in his head, obviously. But the facts that he presented of removing those labels and refusing to put that little logo on the chocolate bar, that is some concerning stuff. At this point, MrBeast is gonna have to wait until the end of the earth to respond because he said he's only gonna respond after all the allegations are made in one final response. So, I don't know, more and more keep coming out, man. Now we move on to MrBeast's apology. Basically, you guys remember Jake Weddle. He was the contestant in one of MrBeast's challenges where he had to stay in solitary confinement, and he claimed to basically be tortured, not allowed to sleep because the lights were on the entire time. He was made to run a
Is that the one with the girl?
marathon with no training, lots of brutal stuff, and pressure to stay in the challenge. Now, turns out MrBeast actually reached out to Jake Weddle, apologized, and offered him about $200K as the remaining money that he would have won if he completed the challenge. Here's a clip.
He said, hey, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you mental stress with that video, and I apologize. Clearly, it had an effect on you. You mentioned you'd like to be paid out the rest of the prize money, the other $190,000.
Shit. Thank you, MrBeast. Thank you, sir. I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll keep my mouth shut for the rest of my life. I don't say shit on everything I love. That $190,000 is gonna go to the family. $190,000 is gonna go to the family. You know what I'm saying? Feed my kids in the future. I know that ain't a lot, but I can save it up and, you know what I'm saying, do my money smart, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking that money. You didn't? You didn't take it?
And I'd love to make things right with you. I have zero expectation of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. This is just me wanting to help you out and make sure you're good. I just need to know if you still have the same bank or not. We'll send you the money on Monday. Wish you the best. There was no lawyers around. It wasn't a spectacle. There was no camera in my face. I respected that. That's how I would have wanted it to go down. But I couldn't take it.
Why?
I couldn't take 100. I just couldn't take it.
Why?
Because it's still a mechanism of the game. It's still like the rest of the prize money, and that's not what it was about. Would you like $190,000? That's the thing. I know. I don't want you to think that you got to take any videos down. I don't want you to think you're. You don't have to post anything because I don't want it to look like I'm buying you out or you're being silent. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. This is just for me to you to make things right. I respect that. I appreciate that. But you know how it looks. You know, for you to give me this cash that I desperately need, right? You know, I don't.
I would have took the money and still talked it. No, I won't. No, I wouldn't. I literally went on and rambled and said I wouldn't say anything. Most likely, I really wouldn't have. That's only that's $100,000. $10,000 more dollars, and it would have been $200,000. I am not saying anything for 2 weeks. I'll say 2 weeks.
I want my audience to trust me here. You know, I want to remain credible. Yeah, totally. So I can. You don't even like post about it. Don't worry about it. Just take this cash. I just don't counter offer. 50. You save $140,000. You just give me 50.
Okay, it's good that MrBeast is trying to make things right. Now, some would say it's a PR move and he knew that Jake would talk about it. But regardless, that is the least he could do, is to compensate Jake and issue an apology. As for Jake, he accepted only $50K of that money and he denied the rest, claiming that he wants to make his own money from now on. Now, that's completely fine, but...
It is, but I most definitely would have took that $190,000 and still would have made my own money. I would have.
But one thing I didn't like about Jake Weddle's presentation here is his title and thumbnail. It says, "I caught Jimmy in a secret recording," and the video starts off with a fake AI video of MrBeast talking.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI. Yeah, that was AI.
And he knew this recording was fake as well, so it's just a weird thing to do. I really encourage anyone who comes out with a MrBeast story to be more careful about what you say or do, because genuine advice, you can lose public favor very quickly. Now, moving on to a guy called Ty Orr. This guy made 2 videos on MrBeast calling him a thief and a liar. Basically, this is someone who is trying to be on MrBeast.
Oh no, brother. Oh no, brother. You know they don't really fuck with us. What were you saying? What were you saying?
MrBeast's idea team. He claims that MrBeast stole his idea and did not pay him for it. Now, the idea in question is the sort of floating platforms for a challenge video, and then you got a bunch of obstacles, similar to the game Fall Guys. Now, is it a unique idea? Personally, I think it's plausible that someone from the MrBeast team also came up with that, and it's also plausible that they didn't, and they actually did steal Ty's idea. Now, MrBeast team responded with a message showing that they already had a similar idea, so take that as you will. Now, I feel like if you have someone apply for a job and go physically to your location and do some work, I feel like you should compensate them just a little, even if they didn't actually get the job or do a good job. But the problem is Ty Orr's intentions are in question now, because initially when he uploaded the video, he linked a GoFundMe for $1.7 million. He has since taken it down after severe backlash and apologized in a comment refunding the money. Last I checked, despite getting
Fuck. God damn it, again. God damn it.
2.5 million views, he only got like 20 donors and about $400, maybe more, I don't know, but this is not a noble move. This is the bare minimum after pulling a stunt like that. There is no reason the public needs to pay you 1.7 million for an idea that is ridiculous. Even if MrBeast wants to compensate you, an idea like that, which is literally just Fall Guys the game, let's be honest, is worth maybe $1,000, maximum like super generous $50,000 for that idea. And you should ask that compensation from MrBeast, not the general public who is already struggling to get by. Now, in his second video, he alleges that MrBeast just gets free labor from people by asking them to apply for a non-existent job, which again, I can't confirm, but he says he won't apologize for the GoFundMe anymore, but he already said sorry in a comment. I don't know. I feel for him if it's true, but I can't excuse clown behavior, all right? Now, moving on to MrBeast's girlfriend, half the things that are said are not true.
That's the thing about the girlfriend thing, or she's an ex. Let's say that ex. Let's ex. She's an ex, but she came out of nowhere and said those stuff. Everything she said, it was just like it was random. It came out of nowhere, and it's kind of confusing because it's like you're the ex. You're the ex, and he's a famous person. You lost a big bag. A very, 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 very big. In our eyes, she's trying to do everything in her power to make him look bad. So it's kind of hard to see if it's true or not when there might be some malice intentions from her.
I wouldn't be with him if they were. MrBeast's girlfriend defends the YouTuber following the recent allegations. Now people are memeing this response saying, wait, what does she mean by half? Half and we got Walter White with a cell phone. Only half, the smile of an empty vessel. Alright, so basically it's too vague to actually say anything. His ex-girlfriend came out too saying that she's been silent for years and vaguely saying,
Wait, what? Wait.
only half, the what does she mean by half? Following the recent allegations. Now people are memeing with him if they were. MrBeast's girlfriend defends the YouTuber.
Oh, okay, wrong girl. Sorry.
For following the recent allegations. Now people are memeing this response saying, wait, what does she mean by half? Half and we got Walter White with a cell phone. Only half, the smile of an empty vessel. Alright, so basically it's too vague to actually say anything.
I ain't gonna lie though, like MrBeast do got like an empty smile, bro. Like his smile has no life in it. I ain't gonna keep no hate towards MrBeast, but it's like when he smile, he don't smile like he happy. He just smile like he's smiling, like he has to. Like it's like it's one of these type of smiles. Like he has to, not like he doesn't want to.
His ex-girlfriend came out too saying that she's been silent for years and vaguely saying that we need to protect women from people like.
And this is the X. This is the X. This. So you waited years to say this. Why didn't you just say this when you could have said it? You've been the X. I don't know how long you've been the X for, but you've been the X for, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you've been it for like a good minute. You had the opportunity to say this. Why did you wait so long for everybody else to catch on? Huh? I'm pretty sure you have the details more than anybody else. Why you wait so long? Sorry. That's why I said this. I don't know.
That. She doesn't actually mention Jimmy's name, but take that as you will. Now moving on, Rosanna also posted a video about MrBeast's leaked document, which showcases some of his work culture.
On to page 17, own your mistakes.
You have 30 minutes to finish your assignment. You realize the problems are not easy, and it's difficult to find the exact information from your notes and textbook. To finish the assignment successfully,
This coming from Jimmy, someone who has never owned his mistakes, never taken account.
MrBeast's leaked document, which showcases some of his work culture.
On to page 17, own your mistakes. This coming from Jimmy, someone who has never owned his mistakes, never taken accountability, and never apologized for any of his poor behavior. I hate excuses and despise with my entire soul when people just try to save face instead of learn from how they've messed up. Pull all-nighters weeks before the shoot so you don't have to days before the shoot. If you planned with adequate time, preparation, and staff, your staff wouldn't have to be doing all-nighters. Never do anything that can make us look bad from a PR perspective. We don't fake things. The absolute delusion. Yes, you do, Jimmy. You pick the best company in America to do it at. The delusion. I would love to see the benefits of the best company in America. From what I'm hearing, you don't even like people taking holidays off, such as Christmas. This sounds like the worst company to work for in America to me. This isn't a stepping stone. This is your final destination.
You think that MrBeast actually paid someone to write something like this, but it really sounds like he wrote it in his voice here, which is kind of funny. It really depends how he implements these rules and how strictly he follows these guidelines. Like, is he actually working people to the bone? But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, there's also a situation with Ava Chris Tyson's partner Irit defending Chris Tyson, and a situation regarding a potential SA victim named Jess. Now, if you want more details regarding that, you can check out Exate's video on it.
Ava Chris Tyson's current partner is alleging that MrBeast and his investors are trying to keep everyone quiet about the recent allegations. An alleged leaked Discord message from...
I did see that. Well, no. I think that was the person, the victim. He wouldn't speak up about it, and then all of a sudden, he didn't speak about it. He didn't speak on it. He would tell people that it wasn't true or whatever the case may be, and then like a few weeks go by, maybe like a week, maybe or like a few days, he's saying that it's all true. Like the whole thing just changed, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was." So it was weird. I don't know.